Welcome to Module 4, Episode 1, Business Model Design, How You Make Money. Before scaling, it's crucial to understand how your business creates and captures value. This video will cover common business model types, how to choose the right one, and how to stress test your model. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team. In this episode, we'll establish a practical framework for designing a business model that works before you commit to scaling. We will explore 4 key areas: the 6 core archetypes, model market fit, unit economics, and spotting a broken model early. This video is part of a series on starting your company. We are currently in Module 4, Building Your Business. Other modules cover validating your idea, legal foundations, funding, building your team, and growth and scale. Module 4, Building Your Business, consists of 5 episodes. Today, we're focusing on business model design. Subsequent episodes will cover pricing strategy, sales basics, marketing, and essential tools. We begin with the 6 core business model archetypes. Every business monetizes in one of 6 fundamental ways. Understanding these structural differences is key to choosing the right model and avoiding costly pivots later. Archetype 1 is subscription or SaaS. Customers pay a recurring fee for continuous access. Revenue is predictable and highly visible. Key metrics include monthly recurring revenue or annual recurring revenue, net revenue retention, and payback period. Gross margins are typically 70 to 85%. Archetype 2 is transactional. Customers pay per purchase. Revenue scales with volume. Metrics to track include gross merchandise value, take rate, and purchase frequency. Gross margins vary widely, typically 30 to 60%. Archetype 3 is marketplace, connecting buyers and sellers and taking a percentage of each transaction. Metrics include liquidity, take rate, and multi-homing risk. Gross margins can be high, 60 to 80%, but require significant supply and demand investment early on. Archetype 4 is usage-based, where customers pay for what they use, aligning revenue tightly with customer success. Key metrics are net revenue retention, cohort revenue curves, and revenue predictability. Gross margins are typically 60 to 75%. Archetype 5 is licensing, granting rights to use intellectual property for a fee. Important metrics include license count and duration, IP defensibility, and negotiation leverage. Gross margins are exceptionally high, 80 to 95%, with near zero incremental cost per license. Archetype 6 is services retainer, where clients pay a recurring fee for ongoing professional services. Metrics include utilization rate, revenue per full-time employee, and client concentration. Gross margins are typically low, 15 to 30%, due to being labor-intensive. Gross margin is a critical metric because it dictates how much capital you can reinvest in growth and influences investor valuation. Businesses with higher margins, like SaaS and licensing, attract premium valuations due to compounding leverage. Next, let's discuss model market fit. The best business model aligns with how your customers actually budget, buy, and measure value. This alignment is more important than how sophisticated the model sounds. There are 3 core questions for model market fit. How do customers budget? OpEx versus CapEx. How often do they buy? Once a year versus daily or weekly? And what triggers a purchase, a pain event, growth milestone, or continuous value? This framework matches customer types to the most suitable business models. High-frequency users match usage-based or freemium. Annual budget cycles align with subscription or licensing. Peer-to-peer needs match a marketplace. Complex needs often start as a services retainer and move toward productization. Customer buying behavior provides diagnostic signals for selecting the right model. If customers measure value by outcomes, consider usage-based pricing. For unpredictable budgets, a transactional or milestone-based model is better. If decisions involve long approval cycles, use freemium or free trials to build advocacy. For frequent buyers who value convenience, subscriptions with autopay enhance retention by reducing friction and building habit. Next, let's cover unit economics, the essential math every founder must know. Before scaling, confirm your business is fundamentally healthy at the unit level. If the math fails for one customer, it won't magically succeed at scale. 4 key numbers matter most for unit economics. Revenue per customer, including ACV and LTV, sets the ceiling for what you can afford to spend on acquisition and service. Cost to acquire, or CAC, is the total sales and marketing spend divided by new customers. Cost to serve, CTS, includes all costs to deliver your product or service to one customer. Time to payback shows how long until you break even on acquiring a customer. This unit economics napkin model provides a simple framework to calculate key metrics, including the LTV/CAC ratio. A ratio of 3:1 or higher is a healthy benchmark for a scalable SaaS business. Good unit economics vary by model. SaaS models typically target a payback period under 12 months, an LTV/CAC ratio of 3 to 5x, and gross margins above 70%. These benchmarks serve as directional targets for scaling and operationalizing your model. Next, we examine the bundling versus unbundling decision. Should you launch a focused product or a broad suite? Getting the scope wrong can waste a year or more on misaligned product development. Markets cycle between unbundling, where new entrants focus on one pain point, and bundling, where successful companies expand into a suite. Startups should ride this cycle intentionally. The decision framework suggests defaulting to narrow. It is generally faster to win a wedge and then expand than trying to win the full suite from day one, which requires significant capital. Finally, let's explore your acquisition motion: freemium, free trial, or demo. Your choice is the front door to your business model, and selecting the wrong one can lead to a funnel full of non-converting users. Freemium is best for high-volume, low ACV products with viral potential, but risks high cost to serve. Free trial suits mid-market SaaS with a clear aha moment, achievable in a short time frame, but requires strong onboarding. The demo or sales-led motion is ideal for enterprise or high ACV deals, requiring customized presentations, but it is expensive and slow to scale without a dedicated team. Matching the acquisition motion to the business model is crucial. SMB SaaS typically uses freemium or free trial for self-serve buyers, while enterprise SaaS needs sales-led demos due to complex multi-stakeholder purchasing. Usage-based models benefit from a free tier with usage limits. Marketplaces often start with invite-only to establish quality. Services retainers require a high-trust, proposal-based approach. Now, let's look at the 3 warning signs of a broken business model at a glance. These are the red flags to watch for as you scale: rising customer acquisition cost, shrinking gross margin, and early cohort churn. Every archetype has predictable failure modes. SaaS founders often fail by pricing on features instead of outcomes. Marketplace founders frequently build supply before validating demand. Services founders may never productize, and usage-based founders risk unpredictable revenue without minimum floor contracts. Let's move on to stress testing your model. Asking the hard questions now while pivoting is cheap is crucial. Avoid building a team and raising capital around a flawed foundation. The stress test checklist involves 4 questions. First, does the model match how your customer budgets? Second, can the gross margin support your growth motion? Third, does the model reward customer success? Fourth, can you defend the model against a well-funded competitor? The strongest businesses embed their moat directly into the business model structure, not just the product. Build for defensibility from day one by designing a model that naturally compounds as you serve your customers better. To recap, here is the full framework. Choose an archetype, validate fit, run napkin math, and stress test the model. This structured approach is vital before starting sales or pitching to investors. Here are the key takeaways from this episode. Your business model is a strategic choice, not a default. Gross margin determines your growth ceiling. Start with napkin math before the pitch deck and obsessively watch the 3 warning signs. Now for your homework. Name your archetype. Fill in the napkin model with unit economics, run the 4-question stress test, and identify your most likely warning sign risk based on your model. You've completed Episode 1, Business Model Design. Next up is Episode 2, Pricing Strategy, covering how to price for value and how to raise prices without losing customers. The following episodes cover go-to-market architecture and team building and management. The most successful founders treat their business model as a first principles design problem, not a template to copy. Start with your customer. Understand how they buy, what they value, and what they'll pay repeatedly.